the Big Ten Network. Speed. Fuel TV. FSN. And Fox Sports, the greatest collection of sports networks in the world.
We are Fox Sports!
Today on Fox Saturday Baseball, we have an old-fashioned rivalry renewed in the NL Central.
And now it is turning ugly.
Two Triple Crown candidates go head-to-head in St. Louis. Joey Votto and the Reds look to bury King Albert and the Cards in the NL Central standings. But don't count out Carlos Gonzalez. The Rockies' crown contender looks to power Colorado on another magical run into Rocktober against the first-place Padres. And up in Minnesota, it's a possible playoff preview between the Central leading Twins and the first-place Rangers. The division races are heating up, so let Fox Saturday Baseball wrangle up the excitement right now. Welcome to the Gillette pregame show on Fox. We are in beautiful Southern California, where things have suddenly gone south for the hometown team here in San Diego. The Padres have lost 8 in a row, but still lead the NL West by 3 games. Today, they're going to have to deal with one of the best young players in all of baseball. Colorado's Carlos Gonzalez. He leads the NL in batting. He is 5th in homers, and he is 3rd in RBIs. And with that, hi, everybody. I am Chris Rose. Welcome to San Diego for a star-studded Fox Saturday Baseball. In our 3 games, we have 4 first-place teams and 3 players vying for that NL Triple Crown. In just a few minutes, some of you will stay out west. Others we're going to send up to Target Field, where you're going to see baseball's leading hitter, Josh Hamilton, take his swings at the first-place Minnesota Twins and their slugger, Jim Thome. The rest of you get a critical battle in the NL Central. Joey Votto and Albert Pujols, both in the top 5 in all 3 Triple Crown categories, but Votto's Reds lead the Cards by 7 games, even after St. Louis took the opener last night. Now, if you know all about the history of the Cincinnati Reds, in the 70s, they were known as the Big Red Machine. In 1990, when they won it all, they had the relief corps known as the Nasty Boys. Well, the 2010 version, they're a little shy on nicknames. That's because their sole goal is to get to the postseason for the first time in 15 years.
And this one belongs to the Reds.
How about the Reds?
My goal when the season started to stop the combination of football, baseball fan from forgetting about baseball in September and continuing to come to the ballpark.
It's been a team effort, and it really, truly takes 25 guys to get where we've got. The team has really picked everyone up this year. It's a different guy all the time.
We got, a bunch of ways to win. We got a bunch of ways to pitch. We're playing some good baseball right now.
I tell them, hey, just play hard. Play hard, play aggressive, and they never quit. And they never stop battling, they never stop fighting, and they never out of a ball game.
We've grown as a team to have confidence in the fact that we can overcome obstacles. And in the past, we haven't been able to do that. And so when we get swept by a team like the Cardinals, we just go back to the drawing board. Everybody comes in every day, play 100% between the white lines, and we feel like we will come up victorious more than not.
And it is getting really ugly as we've got punches and kicks.
There was a whole lot of hype for that series with the comments that came out of our locker room and for what happened on the field, and obviously the history of the 2 teams in general.
The fight we had last time, I think, hurt us, and I think it helped them as a ball club.
It was a downer big time because we got beat pretty badly. They're going to try to, get back in it, and there's still a lot of baseball left, and we're going to try to extend this lead.
It's going to be a hostile environment in St. Louis, and the fans are going to be there, I'm sure. It's a big weekend, but we're trying to win every game we can.
We're the team that everybody's trying to beat now, and that's a great position to be in. We wouldn't want it any other way.
Can the Cards win their 6th straight against the Reds and cut the deficit to 6 in the NL Central? Others are going to find out if the Padres can put an end to their 8-game slide. The Reds get the Rangers and Twins first pitch, plus scores and highlights coming your way next on Fox. Rockies pay a visit on Fox. Unfortunately for the hometown team, there is a dark cloud looming. They have lost 8 games in a row, and their lead in the NL West is seemingly shrinking by the day. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast booth alongside the 3-time All-Star Mark Grace. I am Chris Rose, and Mark, you talked to Buddy Black, the skipper of the San Diego Padres. He says, remain calm, we're doing just fine. Are you buying that?
Well, I'm buying it on Bud Black's part, but I'm not buying it for the San Diego Padres. Right now, panic is starting to set in. And anytime that happens, all of a sudden now, you play tight, you don't play loose. That is what got the Padres into first place all year. Playing loose and good pitching.
First things first for their pitcher, John Garland, today. How does he deal with Carlos Gonzalez, one of the best players in the game?
Man, I don't know. Right now, I'm walking to him because everybody talks about Joey Votto, Albert Pujols. Carlos Gonzalez's numbers are right there. He may be the MVP before this thing's over.
Well, the Rockies have won 9 of 13 meetings between the teams, including last night when Corey Lupke made his first Major League start and got greeted by homers from Jason Giambi and Troy Tulowitzki. The Padres try and snap their slide next on Fox. Look at the lineup for the visiting Colorado Rockies, brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Pair of switch hitters at the top of the lineup, Young and Fowler, followed by Carlos Gonzalez, hitting .500 during an 11-game hitting streak. Then it's Tulowitzki, Helton, Mora, Smith, Iannetta, and the pitcher, Jason Hamill, to face 30-year-old right-hander John Garland on the mound for the 28th time this season, going after his team-high 14th win.
He's just been terrific. He's just a long line of quality starters for these San Diego Padres. He's not going to light up the radar gun at all, but he's a guy that moves the ball in and out and a lot of late movement on his pitches.
Well, this game is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. A beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. Budweiser, it's what we do. Switch hitting second baseman Eric Young will be the first to step into the batter's box against the veteran right-hander. Young hitting just .243 this season. Just a $175 as a left-handed hitter. Garland delivers a called strike.
Big-time speed at the top of the order for the Rockies. Young Dexter Fowler hits second, trying to get speed on in front of Carlos Gonzalez.
This is a team that is hitting a Major League worst .226 away from home. Ball fouled away. Jim Tracy looking for a little bit more production out of the younger guys at the top of the lineup. He actually met earlier this week with both Eric Young Jr. and Dexter Fowler. Said, hey, stop pressing, enjoy the game, be our table setters. We'll let the big boppers drive you in.
Exactly. Just relax. You're major leaguers. Don't worry about it. Minor league season's over. You're here to stay, and we need production out of you.
The 0-2 swung on and missed, so in 3 pitches, Eric Young does not listen to his manager, Jim Tracy. He is out number 1. Padres defense looks like this, from left to right, Denorfia, Venable, and Ludwig. Headley, Cabrera getting the start for Miguel Tejada at short. Eckstein and Gonzalez. Nick Hundley behind the plate with John Garland on the mound. Dexter Fowler, switch hitting center fielder, hitting .246 on the year. It's a 1 outside.
You're in the middle of an 8-game losing streak, Chris Rose. This is what you want, a guy like John Garland, a veteran, a guy that's pitched in big games, pitched in the World Series for the White Sox.
Drafted by the Cubs in 1997 with the 10th pick overall. Dealt a year later, cross town to the White Sox, where he spent 8 seasons. Called strike.
Well, right now, he is just dotting that outside corner like it's easy to do. Great pitches.
The 1-2 is high.
You can see Nick Hundley, that's where he wanted the baseball. Give it to me up here, and that's right where Garland went.
The 2-2 delivery. Fowler's worked the count full. Garland was the Padres' opening day starter after signing in the offseason a 1-year deal with a mutual option for 2011. And there is the first base hit of the afternoon as Fowler dumps it in front of Ludwig. Well, here's today's sprint player first for the Colorado Rockies. It's Carlos Gonzalez first in the NL in batting average, tops in hits and slugging percentage as well. And as I said in the pregame, Mark, he is the guy nobody talks about, but his play is speaking volumes.
I think so. Like we said, you hear a lot about Joey Votto. You hear a lot about Albert Pujols, and deservedly so. But this guy's going to get a lot of MVP votes.
And just 24 years old.
That's the scary part.
Has an 11-game hitting streak. He is 21 for 42 during that stretch. By the way, Fowler's a guy that can run. 12 steals on the season. Ball popped up and foul out of play. And Gonzalez has really been on a tear for 10 straight games. He had gotten an extra base hit until last night when he just went 1 for 4 with a single.
Had a terrible night.
Gonzalez, a guy that was involved with 2 of the biggest trades we've seen in baseball in the last 4 years. He was shipped from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the Oakland A's in the Dan Herron deal.
Exactly.
And then before the 09 season, he was brought over to Colorado for Matt Holliday. So he's been traded for some big names. And
for some all-stars.
And this guy might end up being the best of that bunch. Garland keeping a close eye on Dexter Fowler, who's 12 for 19 in stolen bases.
Garland does a pretty good job of holding runners on. He varies his times. Has a decent pickoff move. And he's pretty quick to the plate.
one taking its time right now. There's a base hit. That one could get to the alley. Ludwig dives and cuts it off. Fowler is going to be held at third after a one-out double from Carlos Gonzalez. So a nice play by Ryan Ludwig to get a glove on that ball and prevent the Rockies from scoring a run.
What a missile off the bat of Carlos Gonzalez. Garland tries to go inside. He doesn't get it there. Gonzalez just rips it into right center field. And as you said, Chris, a super play out there. Look at the effort from Ryan Ludwig to keep that ball from going to the fence. If that gets to the fence, it's 1-0. And Carlos Gonzalez is standing on third base. So a great play there by Ludwig.
27th double of the season for Gonzalez, and that's no big shock. The first 7 hits of his career were all doubles. That brings up one of the power men, Troy Tulowitzki.
Tulowitzki having another fabulous season.
Missed 33 games earlier this year around the All-Star break with a broken wrist. Was actually named to the All-Star roster but couldn't play. And Headley comes home with it, and they got Fowler in a rundown, except for Hundley drops the baseball. They had Fowler cut down at home.
Did we say something about the Padres playing tight as we came on the air, Chris Rose? A nice play there by Headley, a perfect throw. Now you got him in the rundown, don't you? Well, whoop. Everybody's safe. Boy, remember that play.
So that's a fielder's choice, no error on the play.
They're not getting an error there on Nick Hundley.
Oh, they had him dead at the dish. So now bases loaded for Todd Helton, who got the night off last night. And he looks at one away. Not exactly Todd Helton type numbers.
No.
253 with just 6 homers. He is hitting .307 since coming off the disabled list in early August. Garland now behind 2-0. This a critical at-bat in the early going for John Garland and the Padres when you've lost 8 in a row and already the other team has a chance to pile it on before you can even get in the dugout. What does that do to a team's psyche?
Every game has plenty of turning points. This is certainly a turning point right here. John Garland needs the ground ball.
There's a called strike. Helton, a 5-time All-Star, now 37 years old.
Well, back in the day, back in his heyday, a 2-0 fastball down the middle. That ball was hammered in the gap or over a fence. Instead, he took it for strike 1.
Ball slapped foul.
Good fastball there from Garland right on the outside corner with the knees. Now he's back to an even count, 2-2.
Only one time in his first 12 big league seasons was Todd Helton held below 300 for a season. He hit .264 in 2008, played only half the year. Now has a chance to put the Rockies on the board, and he looks at a called third strike from DJ Rayburn, working behind the plate.
Well, let's see how it evolved. Falls behind, misses with a fastball, and misses with a breaking ball. This pitch right here is the key for me. Taking a fastball right down the middle. Then a good pitch there and an even better pitch here. The late movement right to the inside corner. What a huge pitch and a huge sequence on Todd Helton. Now all of a sudden a turning point moment for the Padres. If you can get out of this inning unscathed, Chris, all of a sudden now every ounce of momentum goes into your dugout.
So the bases loaded, 2 down for Melvin Mora, who looks at one inside.
And like in baseball, like any other sport, momentum, a huge part of it. It's like in basketball. If you make a couple of 3-pointers, it seems like you make 5 or 6 in a row. It's the same thing with baseball. If you can get that momentum into your dugout, you can usually carry it into your half of the inning.
Mora 4 for 7 this year with the bases loaded, including a grand slam. Looks at a called strike on the inside corner.
Perfect pitch right to the inside corner. That one froze Melvin Mora.
Mora getting the start once again at third while Ian Stewart recovers from a strained oblique. He's on the DL. But a huge chance for the Rockies to put something on the board. Helton struck out with the bases loaded, and now Mora in a battle with Garland.
I never had to worry about straining an oblique. I was just fat.
There's one somewhere under those layers, right? And Hundley's going to trot out to the mound.
Well, this is no time for guesswork. That was a very short conversation. Probably said, fastball.
Well, this is a situation the Rockies have really struggled in this year, batting just .209 with the bases loaded. It's 2-1.
And Tracy having a flashback. A good player.
Cup of coffee with the Cubs.
Good career in the minor leagues. Working with Todd Helton.
See, even a 5-time All-Star can use it a little bit. And it's now 3-1. So a huge pitch here.
Now that extra out right now that the San Diego Padres gave the Colorado Rockies looming large. And forcing John Garland now to get 4 outs in an inning.
The 3-1 delivery by Garland. And it's 3-2.
Taking all the way right there. Another fastball right down Broadway. That's the way John Garland is, though. There's no fear. He's not afraid to use a fastball and pitch to contact. Now the Padre fans starting to get loud.
3-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded in the first.
Well, that's a good way to quiet down the crowd. Use that play that never works.
Ball tapped up the middle. And they just get the out at second as Eckstein steps on the bag. The Rockies load the bases, but can't score. Scored Mark Grace. Troy Tulowitzki called out. Did David Eckstein beat him to the bag?
Well, what a close play. It looks like that foot of Eckstein just an inch ahead of the foot of Troy Tulowitzki. Bill Hahn, the second base umpire, looking right at it. I think he got that call right.
So the Padres with zeros on the scoreboard. This is their lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. It's Will Venable followed by Eckstein, and then Ryan Ludwig and Adrian Gonzalez flip-flopping in the order. The third baseman, Chase Headley, followed by Chris Denorfia, Nick Hundley, Everett Cabrera, and John Garland. And they will face the right-hander, Jason Hamill, who turned 28 years old just 2 days ago, looking for his 10th win this season, making his 25th start.
This mountain of a man, Jason Hamill. Good fastball, one of the better curveballs. Just a good old-fashioned curveball. You don't see too many of those anymore.
Venable pops one foul. This leadoff position has really been a mess for the Padres all season. Just 223 collectively. Venable in quite a skid during the 8-game slide, just 2 for 27. Little roller over to Young, who backhands it. There's one away. Your umpires, and they've already been busy here. 4 outs into the game. DJ Rayburn behind the plate. Crew chief is Gary Darling. Bill Hahn, who made a great call there at second, and Paul Emmel over at third. Boy, those bang-bang plays at those bases are.
And from just watching it live, it looked like Troy Tulowitzki beat David Eckstein. These guys usually get them right.
Speaking of, Eckstein steps into the box hitting .280.
Well, you can't say enough what a great job John Garland did there, getting out of a jam. Had to get that extra out, and certainly did. Good breaking ball. That's that curveball from Jason Hamill. This is what they get to see. They don't get replays, folks.
Tulowitzki didn't give it much of an argument. Eckstein thought he was called out. Instead, it was called the ball inside. You don't see that very often.
Oh, man, this is a good pitch. When the hitter starts walking away, he knows it's strike 3. Ball. Oh, cool. You know the base hit's coming now.
And on a line, Seth Smith coming in, and he makes the basket catch.
So all's well that ends well for Jason Hamill. His strikeout total will stay down, but he gets the out on the very next pitch. David Eckstein, he took a good 2-3 steps towards his dugout.
Well, that'll bring up Ryan Ludwig. Bud Black has flipped Ludwig and Adrian Gonzalez in the order. Ludwig needs some sort of recharging right now. He's struggling in his last 16, hitting just .179.
Just some kind of change, anything to get these Padres going. Buddy Black digging deep now, changing the lineup, different players in different spots, looking for a spark.
Well, Bud said it's not from any sort of lack of effort. I'm sure it's not, but I mean, the Padres had not lost more than 3 games in a row all season until this 8-game disaster. Big swing and a miss by Ludwig.
95-mile-an-hour fastball right there by the big right-hander.
That's actually a credit to the whole organization. The fact that they hadn't lost more than 3 games in a row all year until this stretch, that's pretty unreal.
It's been a great run.
Broken bat up the middle, past Tulowitzki and into center field. And here is today's Padres sprint first for Adrian Gonzalez. Well, pretty much any offensive category, you name it, with the exception of steals, and Adrian Gonzalez is leading the way. Average, homers, RBIs.
Just a great player. Kind of soft-spoken guy, but just goes out and consistently hammers the baseball. Big power to all parts of the park. 27 home runs here in this huge ballpark. That's a lot.
Last year he hit 40. That's not only playing in this park, but also, with all due respect to the Padres lineup, not a ton of protection.
This is the one guy in the lineup that you can say he's having a good year. Really, everybody else down the line, average at best.
Gonzalez continued the hot swinging last night with 3 base hits. Average up to 303.
He's also a very good defensive first baseman. He's just the total package. He can hit for power, defend. He's just a guy you win with.
Big rip there.
Right after him with the fastball, right in the middle of the plate, and Gonzalez swung right through it. I wouldn't make a habit of throwing pitches right there to this guy, though.
Well, you can see what this park may or may not have done to Adrian Gonzalez's offensive numbers over the year. Getting almost 50 points better on the road. Ball fouled away. I'll get my math right. It's almost 40 points.
That's all right.
It's a weekend,
I went to San Diego State. I understand.
The 0-2 delivery by Hamill is high.
A lot of times you throw the high fastball to set up the breaking ball. He's got a very good curveball. Let's see if he uses it here to try to strike out Gonzalez. Yep, that's what the 2 is. Here it comes.
That ball is ripped to right, and it's off the wall. Ludwig is coming around, and he scores. It is 1-0, but Adrian Gonzalez is pleading to the umpires that should be a home run.
There's a funky little corner here at Petco Park. Bud Black's out on the field. Now the umpires are all going to get together. It is a curveball, but boy, he hangs it. Gonzalez rips it into right field. Let's take us a look-see. That's not a home run. I don't believe that's a home run, folks. There's a little nook out there.
Now, once again, the crew can use instant replay on anything that is a debatable home run, fair, foul, or over the wall.
Right now, I think they've got the call right. I think that's a double. That's an RBI double.
Well, at the very least, though, if you have instant replay in this sort of situation, shouldn't you just at least go check?
They're going to go check right now. Exactly right. It's a game-changing play. But I think they get this call right. I think this is a double. Does it? Yeah, that's a double. That ball did not leave the park. You can see that the way it just, that nook out there, it's hard for the first base umpire to see when he's standing on the line whether that ball got into the stands or not. So now they went to the second base umpire, Bill Hahn, and what he saw is, right now, I think they got the call right. I think that's an RBI double, and sure enough, Chris Rose, a big momentum swing. John Garland getting out of that top of the first. It carried over. Ludwig a 2-out base hit in front of their star hitter, Adrian Gonzalez, and he makes Hamill pay.
Well, regardless, it'll give the Padres something they have rarely seen during their 8-game losing streak. That is a lead. They have led a whopping 3.5 innings during the 8-game slide. And you get a good look at that, and this is a perfect example of replay. Especially, you talked about it, Mark. I mean, down there, the umpires are pretty much shaded away from the play. The first base umpire
cannot see that part of the ballpark, that part of the fence. So now they went and they asked, and they decided, you know what, we're going to have to take a look, but they're going to see that is the right call. That is certainly a double. If he pulls it 2 more inches, it's in that what they call the Petco porch, just down that right field line. But instead it just juts out quickly about 30 extra feet.
And here come the umpires.
Gary Garland, the crew chief. He's the first base umpire. He'll make the call. Yep, second base.
Well, it is the right call, so the umpires 2 for 2 on controversial plays so far this afternoon. Outstanding job. I mean, once again, if you have replay, this is the perfect instance to use it in. And this is really one of the few ballparks where you've got a blind spot out there.
There is a blind spot. Usually that is the first base umpire's call, but Gary Garland can't see that part of the wall. So they got the call right, and so instant replay once again, it works.
And so the Padres MVP, Adrian Gonzalez, gives them a 1-0 lead, and after a brief delay, switch-hitting third baseman Chase Headley steps in. And in case you're curious just how long replay slows this game down, it took them 1 minute and 52 seconds to go back and review it. Ball laced to left center. Smith on the run, and that's going to do it. But an RBI double from Adrian Gonzalez puts the Padres on top. Is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By Sprint, the Now Network, and by the new Ford Fiesta. It's a pretty big deal. Beautiful look at San Diego, where the Padres have taken a 1-0 lead thanks to an RBI double. The bat of their all-star first baseman, Adrian Gonzalez. The credit should also go to the man on the mound, John Garland. Bases loaded in the first and got out of a jam, and there is the culprit out there, the wall. Got a great look from our crew today on the Gonzalez shot that Agon thought was gone, but it wasn't. 7, 8, 9 hitters against John Garland, Smith, Iannetta, and Hamill.
We'll see if John Garland can go out and have what they call a shutdown inning. That is, your team scores for you, you go out and have a crisp inning and keep the momentum right where it is. Right now, the Padres, they haven't had much momentum lately, Chris. We know that.
Seth Smith, a career best 16 homers this year, and he's ahead of the count 2-0. Padres last won a game on August 25th.
Jammed him with a fastball in there. I'm kind of a Seth Smith fan. I kind of like what he brings to the table day in and day out. A good left-handed bat. He's got some power.
Good athletic guy. Went to Ole Miss, recruited there as a quarterback, but couldn't get on the field because of a Manning issue.
I better play baseball.
He's one of several guys who has ties to college football world. It's the first weekend of college football. Smith went to Ole Miss. Todd Helton, quarterback at Tennessee. Big swing and a miss there from Smith, and it's the third strikeout today for John Garland. Well, the Padres, despite their troubles, still have a 3-game lead over the San Francisco Giants, who are probably kicking themselves if they haven't made up more ground.
They've had certainly opportunities. Colorado still in striking distance, as are the Dodgers.
Chris Iannetta looks at a ball. Talked to Jim Tracy before the game. He really thinks that they have one more good push in them, in part because of the health of their starting rotation. They got Aaron Cook back last night. He threw a gem, as he usually does here in San Diego.
They've had injury issues really all year long in their pitching staff. Houston Street, their closer, missed a ton of time.
Nice off-speed pitch from Garland. Iannetta way out in front. Ubaldo Jimenez has obviously been the rock of that rotation, but the other 80% of it at some point has spent some time on the shelf this year.
Right.
There's a called third strike, and Garland, not normally a strikeout pitcher, has already whipped 4 of the first 8 batters he's faced.
Let's take a look. Is this on the plate? Oh, that's a heck of a pitch. DJ Rayburn rings it up. Now for Colorado, our forward keys to the game, Colorado. It's Groundhog Day. These guys have got a reputation of playing very well in September over the years. They need to do it again. And for San Diego, man, just breathe. Breathe. Relax.
That's not one of those
Enjoy
breathe through
it.
your eyelid things.
No, we're not going to go nuclear luge. But just breathe, relax. And this is the perfect guy to take the mound if you're the San Diego Padres. John Garland, a veteran, a guy that, I mean, he's so cool, I'm afraid he's going to freeze up. He's just a cool cat out there. A guy, we've already seen him cool under pressure in the first inning. He's already struck out 4 Rockies here.
But he has fallen behind his opposite number, Jason Hamill. Hamill just hitting a $130 this year. Turned 28 on Thursday, did Hamill. Fouls one away.
Happy belated. Gosh, remember 28? That was fun, wasn't it?
It was more fun for you, brother. Playing on that north side.
John Garland 1 pitch away, 1 strike away from having that shutdown inning.
Did he go? No, says the crew chief, Gary Darling. So Hamill putting together a pretty good at bat has worked the count full. There's a swing and a miss. And there's your shutdown inning, Mark Grace.
Striking out the side, John Garland.
That's Garland with a K, if you're scoring at home. Budweiser, with full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. Padres with a 1-0 lead as we head into the bottom of the second. San Diego scored on a disputed double by Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez thought it had left the yard. Some amazing sound coming your way from the crew chief, Gary Darling, who is mic'd today, and the discussion that the umpires had. We'll bring that to you in just a few seconds. In the meantime, Chris DeNorfia rips one foul.
Amazing what goes into getting a call right. You're about to find out.
Yeah, it's the anatomy of the right call, if you will. Hamill's high. Jason Hamill came over right as the 2009 season started in a deal from Tampa Bay. He was a 10th round pick by the Rays in 2002. Called strike. He was actually the Rays minor league pitcher of the year in 2005. Threw a combined no-hitter a year later for Durham. Ball slapped to Tulo, who's got a gun and shows it off. So once again, here's the conversation all the umpires had after the Adrian Gonzalez double.
That happened around the corner. I couldn't see where it hit.
I thought it hit the wire. What did you
It was in fair territory. It wasn't over the seats.
No. See where the yellow cuts across there?
Yeah.
That's the line of any.
If it hits the cement, it's a home run.
It didn't get that far.
I didn't think so either. I thought it hit the wire.
The only question I had is whether the fan touched it in fair territory.
No, the fan didn't touch it.
No, then it's just a fair ball.
But do you want to look at it?
We got the out.
Because they're saying Gonzo said it hits the cement.
We'll take a look at it, but
If it's spectator interference, it could still be a home run. If that guy reaches over, you know what I'm saying? It could go over that.
We can take a look at it.
Yeah.
Went that far.
We'll take a look at it.
I didn't either.
Where you want to stay?
You stay.
All right.
How good is that? That is great stuff.
Well,
and that's what we said, because Gary Darling is on the first base line. He can't see that. And that's the first thing he said. He goes, it happened around the corner. I can't see it. And he said Bill Hahn, the second base umpire, was saying, I got it hitting the wire, which is exactly right. And they went in, they checked it, they got the call right. Well, that was great stuff.
outstanding.
And good for this umpiring crew.
Yep. 2 for 2 today in tough calls. That last one they got together. In the meantime, Nick Hundley, who had a monstrous blast last night as a pinch hitter, is in the box and 2-2. But that's all you can ask is that guys get together, and I'm happy that they actually went and reviewed it, too, even though they really thought that they were right off the bat.
They weren't stubborn with it. Even though they had the call right, they weren't stubborn. And Gary Darling, even though that's his call, first thing he says, it happened around the corner. I couldn't see it. Help me out.
Hundley blasts one to left. Smith, a few paces shy of the warning track, squeezes it for out number 2. So here it is.
This is real time.
And as you can tell, there's that right field wall that juts out in that corner. It's almost like an extra corner in a ballpark, if you will. But it clearly hit below the yellow wire.
And there was no fan interference.
So Bill Hahn and
He's
Gary
been busy
Darling.
out there,
Yeah,
Bill
he has
Hahn.
been.
He's had some tough calls, but he's getting them right.
2 down now for Everett Cabrera. Hitting just .209 this year after he really blasted onto the scene a year ago where he hit .255 for the Padres.
Got great speed. Just hadn't been on base enough this year.
It's a called strike.
A beautiful fastball there right at the kneecaps from Hamill.
Cabrera was originally signed by the Rockies in 2004. Taps one foul. Then was a Rule 5 pickup from Colorado. Battled some injuries, a lot of inconsistency, hitting only .195 at home this year. You'd figure a speed guy like this might eat a park like this, right?
You would think. If I was him, I'd attempt a bunt at least once a game. Yeah, look at that good curveball there from Hamill. Nice job really there by Cabrera to lay off of it.
Ball slapped foul right over the Rockies dugout. That was a screamer.
Fortunately, everybody's okay. He took that one right out of Chris Ionetta's catcher's mitt. The boys are checking their fillings over there.
Darn near knocked the hair right off of him. There's a called third strike, so both pitchers perfect in the second inning. We will return to San Diego after a break from your local Fox station. Presented by Gillette. Top of the third in San Diego. Padres up 1-0. Thanks to an RBI double off the bat of Adrian Gonzalez. Top of the order for the Rockies, Young, Fowler, and their Gonzalez. Eric Young Jr., of course, his dad. First Rocky ever to step into the batter's box in 1993.
And promptly homered.
Hit the first one ever at Mile High. Ball slapped to center. Venable goes back and now comes in. And there's one down. That'll bring up Dexter Fowler. Singled back in the first and got stranded at third as the Rockies loaded the bases with one out. That was before Helton struck out looking and Mora bounced into a fielder's choice. Fowler, one of these quiet, nice, smart kids from the Georgia area. Actually recruited as a baseball and a basketball player at Harvard and Dartmouth.
Mercy. Smart guy. You don't really say smart and ball player in the same sentence very often.
It's a three-tool player. Smart, nice, and a good athlete.
Respectful. He's going to be a terrific ball player.
Looks at a called strike and is behind in the count.
And he's already a good player. He's going to get better and better with experience.
Eckstein to his left, on his knees, gloves and throws, and there are 2 down. Time right now for a DirecTV game break. This one from St. Louis. The Reds laying it on Adam Wainwright early. Johnny Gomes going to the alley. Past Matt Holliday. 2 score. It's 4-1 Reds in the third. Remember, you can see every baseball game in HD. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And I got to think, Mark Grace, that if the Reds at least get one, maybe that's it, because those two teams don't play one another after tomorrow.
Yeah, without a sweep for the St. Louis Cardinals, I think you can pretty much go Dennis Green and crown the Reds.
Carlos Gonzalez, who doubled back in the first, looks at one outside. The Reds, we showed you that piece in the pregame show, just focused on making it to October for the first time since 1995. Gonzalez turns on one foul. And the Reds have really done it without a top-of-the-rotation guy where you say, boy, he is a stud. I mean, Bronson Arroyo's been fantastic. Mike Leake gave him some great starts throughout the middle of the year.
Travis Wood, another youngster.
It's really kind of a piecemeal starting rotation.
Yeah. Aaron Harang's been out a long time with back issues. He's been the quote-unquote ace for years there in Cincinnati. But, boy, do they hit.
They hit, and now they've got a left-hander out of the bullpen that you better buckle up that chin strap against, with Aroldis Chapman.
Are you buying 105 miles an hour?
Well, as the Reds, you can see they have the best record in the National League. I mean, supposedly Chapman's already thrown the fastest 2 or 3 pitches in baseball this year, and he's been up a week. That could be a nice little weapon for Dusty Baker.
It's a nice little 8th inning guy, isn't it? 105.
Ball down low. So Gonzalez has worked the count full against John Garland here in the third. That ball lasered into the seats.
He has hit a couple of screaming foul balls. He sees Garland very well, Chris. He's 9 for 14 lifetime off Garland. And even the foul balls are loud. That's a nice swing. In control. Head staying right on the baseball. Swinging through it, not to it.
That one way inside. And Gonzalez has reached 75th walk this season for John Garland, 4th most in the National League. So if there's been an area that has been a problem for the 30-year-old right-hander, it has been the free pass. So 2 down with Troy Tulowitzki. Looks at a called strike.
Just spin a breaking ball up there on the first pitch. Most of the time that's going to get taken for strike one. Good pitch.
Tulo reached on a failed fielder's choice, if you will. He hit a ball to Chase Headley. We've got Dexter Fowler caught up in a rundown in between third and home, except that Nick Hundley dropped the ball. No error charged on the play. Just a fielder's choice. Ball low. One of the things that makes Carlos Gonzalez so dangerous, I mean, he's the National League version of Josh Hamilton. I mean, he really has all 5 tools. He's 20 for 28 in stolen bases. One of 3 players to lead his team in both homers and steals. So John Garland keeping a close watch on him. Ball literally hit off Garland and into right field. Gonzalez is going to spin his wheels, and Tulowitzki is going to slide safely into second. But a bigger concern is the health of John Garland after that ball. He seems to signal to the dugout he's okay.
Looked at the left ankle. Whew, maybe the top of the foot. That hurts. And that ball carried him out to shallow right field. And everybody moving. Gonzalez takes a peek back. He's thinking about scoring. But the old adage, trust your pitch or your third base coach on that. Don't look at the baseball. Tulowitzki going hard all the way. Scored as a double, and once again, the Rockies making noise here in the top of the third.
And now Todd Helton with a chance to make some amends. Bases loaded, 1 out in the first. Took a 2-0 fastball right down the pipe. And then ended up getting caught looking to end the at-bat.
Garland has a base open. He can maybe try to pitch around Helton in this situation. Melvin Moore is on deck.
There's a wide one.
He may try to get Todd Helton to chase something just off the plate.
One low. Garland has fallen behind 2-0.
2 quick outs to start the third inning. Young and Fowler were disposed of quickly. Then a 2-out walk to Gonzalez. And once again, John Garland pitching in a high-stress situation. You've lost 8 in a row. Every pitch is big from here on out.
Well, he did a great job dancing through trouble in the first. Retired the side in order in the second. Breezed through the first 2 batters here in the third, but Gonzalez walked. Tulowitzki lasered one off the shin of Garland. That ball's going to fall in front of Ludwig. Gonzalez ties the game. The throw by Ludwig. Tulowitzki slides in safely, and the Rockies have a 2-1 lead. The 2-out walk does some damage.
That's exactly right,
against
Chris.
The Padres.
You had a base open. Instead, they elect to go after Helton. He hangs a breaking ball right in the middle of the zone. Todd Helton has done a lot of that in his career. Wham! One hop. Troy Tulowitzki got a great jump off of second base, so the throw was late, and the Rockies take the lead.
Way inside to Melvin Mora. Grounded out to second to end the threat in the first.
So whatever Jim Tracy was talking about with Todd Helton when he was working up his swing, whatever he said to him, it worked. Huge hit with 2 outs.
Called strike. Todd Helton in his 14th season signed a 2-year extension right before the year began. Those are some impressive numbers.
Are those Hall of Fame numbers?
And you add them up, they're pretty good. He will have his detractors, obviously, because of where he plays his home games.
Right.
And all 14 years with 1 club.
Well, he is the face of the Colorado Rocky franchise, just as all those guys are as well. How about 3 New York Yankees with 16 or more years? Goodness gracious.
There's a called third strike, so John Garland picks up his 6th strikeout of the afternoon, but not before the Rockies take the 2-1 lead. Today, the right-hander Jason Hamill is pitching with the lead. That courtesy of the 5-time All-Star Todd Helton. 2-out, 2-run single in the top of this frame. It's giving Colorado a 2-1 lead. In steps John Garland. Looks at a called strike. Garland does have one career homer, in case you're curious.
You're hitting over 200. That's pretty good as far as the pitcher's concerned.
That homer came when he was with the White Sox in 2006 off of Esteban Yan.
One of many that Esteban gave up.
That's a crowded club. In comes Gonzalez. He squeezes it. 1 down. That's another point about Carlos Gonzalez. Continue to find out a little bit more about him. He can play all 3 outfield positions equally well, and he plays usually the corner outfield that's more difficult. So in Coors, that's usually left. Elsewhere, it's normally right. He can play center as well.
Just a valuable guy, a very athletic guy to have. He's got great speed, a great throwing arm as well. So he can hurt you on the defensive end of the baseball of the field as well.
Will Venable grounded out his first time up at the plate. Talked about all the guys who are 2 sports stars in baseball and college football. This is a guy who shined on the college basketball court as well up at Princeton. Made first team in baseball, first team in basketball.
His teammate, pitcher Chris Young, also played basketball there.
The 2-1 pitch by Hamill. Fowler under it. And there's 2 down. It's time right now for a DirecTV game break. And this one, somebody's on target at Target Field. It's Jim Thome for the 583rd time in his career, tying Mark McGwire for 9th place all-time on the home run list. Twins flanking the Rangers so far. And a quick reminder to see every game in HD, it's 1-800-DirecTV.
And once again, the Minnesota Twins just defying logic. No Justin Morneau, no Joe Nathan, but yet they continue to go out and just consistently win baseball games.
Started the day with a 4-game lead over the White Sox in the Central. Right now it's actually down to 3.5 because the White Sox won the first of a twin bill up in Boston. 3-1 was the final there.
I love September baseball. Love it. Panic sets in. They're panicking here in San Diego, Chicago's South Side.
We're coming up in the next half inning. You're going to get a little treat. You get to listen to the Hall of Fame voice of Jerry Coleman and also Ted Leitner from the Padres radio booth. Actually, first time this year in the regular season those two are paired together after working a long time. Jason Hamill does quick work, and we will listen to the radio voices of the Padres right after this. DirecTV. Watch your favorite team wherever you live, only on DirecTV. By Lowe's. Lowe's, let's build something together. And by Warner Brothers Pictures, The Town, in theaters everywhere, September 17th. We are coming to you live today from San Diego, where the Rockies lead the Padres 2-1. And right now, a special treat. We get to listen to the Padres radio broadcasting team from XX 1090. Andy Mazur, what is it like working with two legends every day?
And we thank you, Chris and Mark Grace, and we welcome you here to Petco Park. Andy Mazur joined here in the broadcast booth by Jerry Coleman and Ted Leitner. These guys have seen so much of Padre baseball, and much more than I have seen, actually. But, guys, this season has been tremendous.
Got a year or two up on you.
Just a few, right? There's a base hit into right field for Seth Smith to start off this fourth inning. And right there is the fifth hit for the Rockies here this afternoon. But, guys, how does this season compare to some of the ones that you have seen in the past?
Jer, what do you think? I think this is the most amazing year the Padres have ever had, considering they don't have a really good ball club. But what they've had is good pitching, and that got them there.
Yeah, the greatest comment by Bud Black was that the sum is greater than the parts. And it's so true. If you go down and look at your scorebook where you take your guy or their guy, your guy or their guy, and it doesn't matter if you take their guy because the team plays so well as a team. I know it's an old-fashioned concept, but TEAM, and they're amazing when it comes to that.
And you got a bunch of guys that really know their roles on this team, and they like each other. Yeah,
that's the amazing thing. They get together and they do well together.
So John Garland here with a man on first and nobody out in this fourth inning. We'll throw ball one to Chris Iannetta.
See, it's fascinating, and Jerry will tell you because he played with those Yankee clubs. You can have a manager make that same speech the first day of spring training. We're going to hit behind runners. We're going to move the runners. We're going to play team baseball. But it doesn't happen just because they say so. With this Padre club, my gosh, it happens.
You got to practice.
Garland is low on that one. It's 2 balls and no strikes. And that was one of the things here that they really stressed in spring training was aggressive base running and good defense and getting guys that fit well here in this ballpark at Petco Park.
We missed learning how to bunt. That's the one thing we don't do well, unfortunately, and that's a key part of the game. It's absolutely important.
It's 2-1 Rockies, and a swing and a foul back to the screen there by Iannetta. The count is 2-1.
Yeah, the most versatile ball player on the club is David Eckstein. He knows how to hit behind the runner, how to bunt, how to make things work when you need it most, how to take a pitch. He's not afraid to take 2 strikes. He can do all of it.
So you have to understand that Jerry and Rizzuto were as good a bunter as you could find in America. So he's very, very partial about that. Very, very particular about that. I understand.
That one low now, 3-1.
Well, the one thing, though, Ted, as you know, the guy that should learn to bunt more than anyone are pitchers, because they're called on all the time to lay down a bunt, and most of them can't do it. Some can, but very few can.
Yeah, and their staff's better than most. I've been amazed by this Padre pitching staff. Not that it's the best pitching staff the Padres ever had, but in terms of doing other things, they're a good group.
And a ground ball back up the middle into center field by Iannetta. A big turn there at second by Smith, but he'll hang on first and second now with nobody out. And the top of the fourth inning. But, guys, we need to talk about this Rockies team, too. And the fact of the matter is that they have been a royal thorn in the side, so to speak, of this Padres team for many, many years.
Got the league's leading hitter up there, Gonzalez. And the guy at first base, Todd Helton's been driving us nuts for 13 years or more. And he got the big hit to drive into earlier in the game. He can play.
See, the thing is, Muhammad Ali always said, if you could do it, it ain't bragging.
Correct.
And the Rockies have done it. They won 21 out of 22 in 07. They were dead in the water last year and came back to be a wild card. So they know they've done it because they've done it.
And they're sniffing around now,
Yeah, they are.
Sniff a little bit.
I understand. I hear sniffing.
This is one of these rough patches of the season that the Padres are going through here that they have not experienced much of at all, with the fact that the longest streak before this one was 3 in a row. And now it's at 8. And they're expecting the bunt by Hamill. The pitch is outside for ball one. It's 2-1 Rockies in the top of the fourth inning. And Buddy Black's going to come out right now and have a quick conversation with John Garland.
Well, the thing is, he wants to bunt the ball to third base to get the third baseman to field it. But if you get it too close to the pitcher, it's easy out of third. So it's really a delicate situation now. And pitchers should learn this. When you go the other side on the first base, you got Gonzalez sitting all over him coming in for first. So basically, he's got to lay down a bunt maybe about 25 feet down the line. It's not easy, Ted.
And up here it's easy.
That's
really
right.
easy. Remember, as Richie Ashburn and Harry Callis, when they worked together after Richie retired, And that's why that plaque out there for the late great Richie and Harry in Philadelphia. And it says, Harry, this game's easy up here. Because it is much easier than when you're down there playing, and we understand that.
I tell you what, the players are bigger, faster, and stronger than I was in my time. These guys are all mini giants. I never saw so many big guys in my life.
Mini giants, all right.
Yeah, well, not a giant, but a mini giant.
That's a George Carlin oxymoron. We understand that. Sure.
Hamill again scoring to bunt, and he gets it down third base side with foul. Counting leaving it 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out in this top of the 4th inning. Rockies threatening again. They have runners at first and second, leading 2-1 over the Padres here. Padres trying to avoid a 9th consecutive loss. And you hear things about team meetings and these kind of things that we have not heard much of at all this year.
They don't let us in, that's why.
Yeah. Well, apparently the players had a little meeting today just to kind of keep themselves on the right track here as Hamill again will bunt, and that one was fouled back to the screen.
Did he get hit in the hand?
Yeah.
If his bat was on there and he went for it, it doesn't count as being hit by a ball. So, see, what you got to do is get away and let it hit you then. But when you bunt at the ball, it's a strike no matter where it goes, whether it hits you in the face or whatever.
So that will be attended to by their trainer. And it was called a foul ball, so the count moves to 1-2 now on Hamill.
I'll say one thing. He tried it twice to go third base. That's what you want to do, and the guy knows how to play the game. You want the third baseman to field the ball, let the others advance. You go any other way, to the pitcher, to the first baseman, he's out at third. Provided the third baseman doesn't break too soon. That's another thing, too.
Well, guys, for those watching on Fox TV, I mean, we knew in spring training that this team was going to be improved. The Padres are going to be improved. We had no idea they'd be this improved.
No chance. No chance. We saw that last 2 months with 37-25 at the end of last year. A lot of times you see that and think, well, it usually doesn't carry over. But this carried over 7 consecutive months, and only the Yankees in Major League Baseball have done that.
Hamill pops this ball on foul and out of play. He's down on strikes, 1 away in this 4th inning.
See, now that's what happens when you don't sacrifice properly. You're out, nobody advances. You start again with the leadoff man, see what he can do.
So that keeps him at first and second with 1 out, 2-1 in favor of the Rockies. And Eric Young Jr. will come to the plate. And we were talking earlier about Eric Young Jr. and the fact that his dad, Eli Sr., a former Padre as well.
Well, we've had a lot of people pass through this lineup, over the years. I mean, half the teams in Major League Baseball have 1 or 2 of them out there somewhere.
Garland's first pitch is lined to short, picked up there by Cabrera. It's going to be a double play. He'll throw on to second to complete it, and the Padres dodge a big bullet right here in this top of the 4th inning. Well, guys, we appreciate that, and thanks for stopping by. And you can go home now. Yes, you are dismissed.
Get your check and go.
You are dismissed. Chris Rose and Mark Grace will rejoin you on Fox TV here in just a moment.
go hard of the lineup. Ludwig, Gonzalez, and Headley against Jason Hamill. All fouled away. And we want to thank the whole gang from Double X 1090, including the Hall of Famer Jerry Coleman, who has now moved to the Jerry Coleman booth. Hanging out with the former Cy Young Award winner Randy Jones.
Great left-hander for the San Diego Padres. The Colonel still sounds great, doesn't he?
Sure does. A lot of fun. Made a great point about the whole bunting issue, and then Jason Hamill comes up. Can't advance the runners. Jerry Coleman could do it all with the Yankees. World Series MVP, made 6 straight World Series with the Bronx Bombers. Inducted into the broadcasting wing of the Hall of Fame in 2005, and you can hear why.
He was a San Diego icon, one of the great voices of all time. Ted Leitner over there with him as well, another San Diego sports icon.
Now Teddy's got to get on the freeway and go do the San Diego State game later today. Swing and a miss from Ludwig. Have to throw to first for the out. Well, in between innings, we caught up with Rocky skipper Jim Tracy, who talked about some missed opportunities.
You know what, Chris? Actually, through these first 3.5 innings, we've had some at bats that you like to see much better. Obviously, we didn't execute very well situationally in the first inning with second and third, and we roll over a ball and hit it easily to the third baseman. Caught a break there, didn't take advantage of it. Missed that bunt situation, first and second, nobody out. We have to do a better job in those type of situations. But Todd did bounce back and have a great at-bat for us, obviously, after missing in the first inning.
Well, your team has a great track record in September. You guys don't feel like you're out of anything, do you?
No, we don't, Mark. You know something, and that's a credit to every kid on this club that's wearing a Rockies uniform. We did special things last year, but I told Chris earlier today, Mark, in many ways, I'm as proud or more proud of this group of players than what we did last year, just because of all the adversity we've dealt with, and we're still hanging in there and very, very much alive in this thing.
Jim, as always, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right,
Good luck, Skipper.
See you, Mark.
Take care.
Well, he also has got to like what he sees out of his starter this afternoon, Jason Hamill. Has 2 down and is working on Chase Headley.
Speaking of a San Diego icon, the chicken.
You ever get into it with him?
Oh, many times.
Talking about on the field. Oh, yeah.
He must know I'm here. When I was a minor leaguer, he would do his minor league tours. And him and the Philly Fanatic.
Right.
By far the best.
Headley rolls it on over to Helton. 8-pitch inning for Jason Hamill, and the Rockies take a 2-1 lead, you chicken, into the 5th. man swing the bat this half inning, Carlos Gonzalez. But first things first, the number 2 hitter, Dexter Fowler. 1 for 2 on the day. So a pair of legends in the house here in San Diego. Fowler laces one to center on the first pitch he sees. Venable squeezes it for out number 1. Time right now for a DirecTV game break out in Minnesota, and there's the bad man again, Jim Thome. This time going to left center. 20th homer of the year. Yep. 584th of his career. Sole possession of 9th place all time, and the Twins hanging it on the Rangers. So congratulations to one of the great guys, not only in baseball, but in life.
He is one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet, one of the most prepared baseball players you'll ever run into.
How's that list of a top 10? I'll take 10 guys on that softball team, and I think we do pretty well.
You'll win some games.
So up next, Hall of Famer Frank Robinson.
And you can just pitch.
Then I'm not so sure about the result. That is an amazing, amazing list. Carlos Gonzalez having another great afternoon. A double in the first, walked and scored in the third. It's now 22 for his last 43. Pops one up. Headley's going to have room in foul territory. And there's 2 down.
And that will upset Carlos Gonzalez, swinging 3-0. He did absolutely nothing. As you see a little extra info on Carlos Gonzalez. You like to call him Cargo.
Well, just every other Saturday or so. And since it's the first Saturday of the month, we'll call him Cargo. He's a guy, though, that was expected to bat leadoff for this team.
Exactly, because of his great speed. And then all of a sudden, that's just way too much production to keep at the top of the order. We need you in the middle of the order. I'm not a huge fan of swinging 3-0 when the bases are empty. Just not a big fan of it, because if he does draw a walk, he's got the ability to steal second and third. So he'll be upset with himself after popping up a 3-0 pitch.
Tulowitzki ahead of the count. Tulowitzki, 32 homers, 92 RBIs, and 20 steals a year ago. Finished 5th in the MVP voting. So you got to deal with these 3-4 hitters for years to come if you're in this division. That's ugly. That one lasered down the line. It's going to be another extra base hit for Troy Tulowitzki. Second straight double for him, and the Rockies have another 2-out runner.
You just don't see shortstops in the cleanup spot very often, but Troy Tulowitzki's such a big young man. Gets a fastball in and just rifles it down the third base line. As you said, you're going to be dealing with Gonzalez and Tulowitzki for years to come if you're a National League pitcher.
2 down now for the man that drove in both runs for the Rockies, Todd Helton.
Once again with the base open and Mora on deck. Let's see what Garland decides to do this time.
His 2-out single in the third scored both Gonzalez and Tulowitzki. Garland continues to fall behind. 23 batters faced this afternoon, only 8 first pitch strikes. Big swing and a miss there from Helton.
He just went right down the middle with a fastball there and threw it by Helton.
Well, we talked to Jim Tracy about whether or not the Rockies have one more run in them. If they're able to hang on today, you're talking about only a 5.5 game deficit. And these two teams will see one another down the line.
And you heard the Padre broadcasters These guys are the proverbial thorn in the Padres' side.
That one outside. Well, this last month, all the NL West teams will play one another. A few odd series thrown in there for each squad. Non-divisional, but Bud Black mentioned, I love it that we're going to be seeing the rest of our division. It's down too low. We'll see if he still feels that way once the season concludes in a month. And now they're just going to give Helton a free pass.
Only allowed to burn me one time in that situation. This time, just go ahead and put him on. Try to get a ground ball off the bat of Melvin Moore.
Padres do have a pitcher loosening in their pen. It's a left-hander, Joe Thatcher. 2 down here in the 5th, and Melvin Mora is going to have a chance to try and increase the lead. Rockies, after they wrap up this series, will go home to face Cincinnati for 4, then Arizona, and then San Diego comes into town. So they kick off a 10-game home stretch where they have been lethal at home. They're 43-22, so do not count out these Rockies.
And Jim Tracy and his Rockies have such a track record of being terrific in September. We saw it last year. They came from the clouds to get the wild card, and then they also did it in 07.
And Garland is behind 2-0. Now, it's been a tough afternoon for Garland, really, right from the very beginning on. He loaded the bases with 1 out in the first and wiggled out of that jam. Got into trouble in both the 3rd and the 4th innings, and now here in the 5th, a 2-out double to Tulowitzki and a walk to Helton. And now behind to Mora.
John Garland must think that Troy Tulowitzki is given location at second base. There's been a couple of meetings on the mound trying to change things around. And he's been looking back at Troy Tulowitzki ever since he's been on second base.
And it's 3-0.
And you can see that Troy Tulowitzki has kind of gotten into the head of John Garland. I've been watching Troy. It doesn't look like he's doing too much.
The 3-0. And the bases are loaded for the second time this afternoon for the Rockies. And here comes Buddy Black.
He's got a left-hander ready in Joe Thatcher. This might be it. It is it.
Well, for the first time in 27 starts, John Garland does not work 5 full innings. Bullpen on for the 52nd time this year. Mark Grace, look at the ERA, under 1.5.
And all Joe Thatcher has done all year long is give up nothing. So they're going to remove Seth Smith, and Ryan Spilborghs is going to hit. He's a right-handed hitter, but Joe Thatcher, it doesn't matter who he faces. Left-handers hitting 179 off of him. Right-handers hitting 149 off of him.
Well, I think it matters for Jim Tracy, who he's throwing out.
I think John Garland thought that was a pretty quick hook. Matter of fact, yeah, he's not real happy. But it's a pennant race, Chris, and you don't have time to take care of your pitchers or your hitters. You have to win this baseball game if you're the San Diego Padres, and Bud Black has had a gem of a left-hander in Joe Thatcher all year long. He needs to keep this a one-run ball game.
Swing and a miss by Spilborghs. And Thatcher ahead in the count, 1-2.
It's a nice convenience to have a great bullpen. Anybody he goes to is having a dynamite season out in the San Diego Padre bullpen.
Best ERA in the bigs. That one just misses outside. The 2-2, just outside again.
Did it get the play? Oh, that's awfully close.
So now those Rockies will be running. And they'll do it again.
Spilborghs a nice weapon. With Jim Tracy coming off the bench, he can help you. He's got some power in his bat.
The 3-2. Ball lasered on a couple of hops. Cabrera bobbles it and does not get him in time. And you can see the frustration mounting in the Padres dugout.
Well, just a two-hopper. Cabrera can't come up with it. Spilborghs getting down the line. He easily beats it. So that's another big error on Everett Cabrera, and you can see John Garland. He is steaming over in the Padre dugout.
Keeps the inning alive now for the catcher Chris Iannetta. He looks at a called strike.
Cabrera made a huge error earlier this week out in Arizona.
Well, it actually went to Tejada, but it could have been Cabrera's error on the throw.
That's true. It did go to Tejada. It was a poor throw.
Well, here it is Wednesday. Miguel Montero and Cabrera just fired it. Tejada tried to barehand it. Didn't matter who the error was on. It kept the inning alive, and eventually it led to a grand slam by Brandon Allen, the rookie for the Diamondbacks, and another defeat for these Padres.
And that's just a part of playing tight. That's a youngster that's in a pennant race for the first time in his life. Once again, we're just going to go back to our key to the game for the Padres. Breathe. Relax.
Going down low. Good job by Iannetta to hang off of it. Iannetta, a guy, it's been a frustrating season for him. Spent about a month in the minors, demoted the end of April. Ball lasered, but Headley snags it. There's no further damage done. But the Rockies tack on another and lead it 3-1. anti-perspirant. Help eliminate odor. Don't just cover it up. Well, the Rockies have a new left fielder. It is Ryan Spilborg, the pinch hit for Seth Smith on the top of this frame. Something we are going to have to keep our eye on is the Rockies pitcher Jason Hamill as he continues to work.
Despite getting hit by a pitch on an attempted bunt on his right finger, his pitching hand, he's out there throwing strikes. Right now he's after running the first. He's been dealing.
Set down 10 in a row as he faces Chris DeNorfia.
Padres in desperate need of some offense.
The Rockies starting to get loose.
Only 54 pitches for Hamill.
Tulowitzki. And there's one down. And here's what happened to Jason Hamill when he was batting back in the fourth, trying to move runners over. Took it right on those digits on his pitching hand. So then when he came out and he pitched after the bottom of the fourth, retired the side. It's obviously still bothering him, Gracie.
Yeah, he's still been shaking it out there, his right hand, but whatever's happened, it's not hurting him too badly because he is twirling the gym.
Moore on a couple of hops. 2 up, 2 down. Well, Mark, paying attention to the calendar, next week the NFL regular season kicks off with a doubleheader on Fox. It begins with the Panthers battling the Giants in the brand new Meadowlands. Then Aaron Rodgers and the Packers take on the Eagles, or the Niners and Seahawks, maybe even the Cardinals and Rams. Coverage begins next Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific with the Ford Fox NFL pregame show, brought to you by the all-new Ford Edge Drive One. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
Sundays are going to become a lot more exciting. Looks like that middle knuckle might have took the brunt of that pitch on the attempted bunt. Boy, he is doing everything he wants right now. He's got the Padres eating out of his hands.
And unlike San Diego starter John Garland, who is behind every hitter, Hamill has really hopped out in front.
Well, that's the key to pitching. Throw strike one. It opens up your entire arsenal. When you get ahead, you can use your breaking ball. You can use your changeup. When you're consistently behind hitters, you become a one-pitch pitcher, and that's a fastball. And that's when opposing hitters can just tee off on you.
Cabrera taps one foul. Of course, it was his inning and his error at the top of this frame that allowed another Rockies run to score, and we saw a frustrated John Garland from the dugout yelling and screaming. You know, when you've lost 8 in a row,
your patience starts to fade.
Yep. Even for a classy veteran like John Garland. That one gets past a diving EY and into right. So now the Padres are going to send up a pinch hitter for the pitcher. It'll be Aaron Cunningham. Cunningham, a guy who came over in the offseason from the A's organization for Kevin Kuzminoff. Scott Hairston also a part of that deal. Cunningham 4 for 14 this year as a pinch hitter.
Limited action. Done a good job hitting .313.
It's Ryan Webb in the bullpen. We expect to see him next inning. Of course, the roster's expanded this week. On September 1st, you could call up players without having to send people down and make moves. So Bud Black and Jim Tracy dealing with a few more cards in that dugout. Did you like that?
Well, if you were a September call-up, you'd love it.
Of course.
So you got a lot less room in the clubhouse. But I don't mind it. I think it slows the game down because you've got so many more guys you can go to the bullpen with now. So many more guys you can use as pinch hitters.
Cunningham pops one up. Helton over toward the Padres dugout, gives it a glance, and the Gold Glover squeezes it, and that'll do it. We are through 5, and the Rockies lead it 3-1. $15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Denny's, 2468 value menu all day, every day. And by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty. Well, the Padres are going to take one of their young guns out for a stroll. 24-year-old right-hander Ryan Webb. On the mound is Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn.
The old gun out there.
Probably got a base hit on that one in between short and third, I'm guessing. Webb on for the 42nd time this year. He was just called up earlier this week, September 1st. His third different stint with the Padres.
Got a good, hard, sinking fastball.
And Jason Hamill looks at strike one. Webb, originally a fourth-round pick in 2004 by the Oakland A's. He was actually traded for one of his current teammates.
Who's that?
Scott Hairston. Hairston last year was dealt up to Oakland. And in the offseason, shipped back down to San Diego. 3 pitches is all Ryan Webb needed on that one. Take a look at our Verizon game summary. This one all about Jason Hamill, who has pitched very well through 5 innings. Todd Helton, critical 2-out, 2-run single in the 4th that gave the Rockies the lead. And John Garland does not work 5 full for the first time since mid-April.
He's been the middle of the order for these Colorado Rockies doing the damage. Gonzalez, a couple of doubles. Tulowitzki, a couple of doubles. Helton, a couple of RBIs.
EY lays one down. It rolls foul. Well, Petco, one of the newer stadiums, opened in 2004.
I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Getting a good look at the park Out
there beyond center field. Tony Gwynn keeps an eye on everybody that comes in here.
Sure.
As it should be.
They have that little beach out in the right center field wall.
Just a picnic area.
Good place to hang out on this Labor Day weekend.
Bring the kids. They play catch, shag balls out there. It's fun.
Build sandcastles.
Yeah.
Grace, you got to get down and dirty out there.
Well, I've been out there.
We could bury Mark Grace and just have your head, throw the headsets on you out there.
No, thank you.
Big rip there by Young.
Happy Halloween, everybody. It's just great to bring the kids to the ballpark. So what if they're not watching? They're still at the ballpark. They're having a great time.
Halloween, we will be playing the World Series on Fox. Young's average has dipped to 236.
Whoa.
Getting a good look at one of the Fox executives attending today's game.
A little creepy. Let's not kid ourselves. Oh, man, what a beautiful slider that time from Webb.
Make it 2 straight strikeouts for Ryan Webb. That, of course, part of the theme for the Padres bullpen. They bring out those Star Wars backpacks, whether it's Yoda. I think Chewbacca's made an appearance. That's part of their rallying cry that has made them the best bullpen in the big leagues. Of course, anchored by Heath Bell, who's pitched only one time in the last 13 days.
Yeah, he needs to get busy. He needs some work.
Dexter Fowler going to work, 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Hard for Heath Bell to get saves when the Padres aren't leading.
That's exactly right. They're just not scoring any runs. Pitching's been all right.
Well, a nice 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Webb. Padres trying to get something going offensively. Hey, Sparky. The top of the lineup, Venable, Eckstein, and Ludwig. Jason Hamill has been dealing. That was just the 65th pitch of the afternoon.
He's only given up 3 base hits. 2 of those in the first inning. Since then, I mean, just fabulous.
He is behind Venable. This is a guy you do not want to give a free pass to. 2 for his last 29.
You got to make him hit his way on.
Problem is that he leads the team in stolen bases. Yeah. You don't want to put some speed on him.
Exactly. When you're in the deep freeze like he is, 2 of his last 29. I would imagine if you're Venable, I'm taking another pitch. Let's see if he is.
Nope. Hop to Helton. Hamill covers. And there's one down. Well, catch all the action of the 2010 Major League Baseball postseason right here on Fox and also with our good friends over at TBS. The excitement begins October 6th with the Division Series on TBS. Of course, do you remember anything about the 2008 NLCS?
Stairs rips one into the night, deep into right, way out of here. And Philadelphia gets a pinch hit, 2-run shot. And the Phillies lead 7-5 in the 8th.
Don't forget, you can catch the NLCS right here on Fox starting Saturday, October 16th. Matt Stairs still plugging away.
Skinny Matt Stairs now.
Well, guy who has always delivered in a pinch, as you can see. Most career pinch hit home runs. David Eckstein pulls one. Mora knocks it down, but he's not going to have a play. So the Padres have some life now with the heart of their order coming up.
A rare base runner today for the San Diego Padres. That ball just eats up Melvin Mora.
Ruled a hit for David Eckstein.
Would have been a spectacular play there. But because of your good pitching staff, the San Diego Padres are rarely blown out of games. You're always one base run or two from bringing the tying run to the plate.
Which is exactly what they have here in the case of Ryan Ludwig. He sends one deep to center, but there's plenty of room out there for Dexter Fowler, and there's 2 down.
Ludwig didn't have a very good swing at that first pitch breaking ball. He'll be disappointed with himself. That's one thing that's frustrating as a hitter. You know, you can live with yourself if the pitcher gets you out. But you get very upset with yourself when you get yourself out. And right there, Ryan Ludwig took a defensive swing at a first pitch breaking ball and hit just an easy fly ball out to center field.
So 2 down now for the man who put the Padres on the board, Adrian Gonzalez. RBI double back in the first.
Are you messing with him here? I'd pitch awfully carefully. That is a beautiful fastball right on the outside corner.
94 on the black.
Jason Hamill, very impressive here this afternoon.
Hamill going after his 10th win of the year. That would match his total from a year ago. Ball taken the other way. Spilborghs is going to have room, and that'll do it. Rockies lead it 3-1 after 6. We will return to San Diego after a break from your local Fox station.
It was just try to get on base for my team and just try to be one of those aggressive leadoff hitters.
Yankees, this is a guy who had to make an audible in his approach at the plate this year.
Playing early in the year when I was in spring training, I was supposed to be the leadoff hitter, so I didn't know I was going to have that many RBIs or home runs. My mentality was just try to get on base for my team and just try to be one of those aggressive leadoff hitters.
Well, he has been super aggressive, whether he was planning to hit leadoff.
He's been fabulous.
Well, he's hitting leadoff this inning, so he's back to his roots, I guess.
You see that good sinking fastball there from Webb right underneath the bat of Carlos Gonzalez. He's a very good low ball hitter. And when you're a good low ball hitter, that's a big advantage because that's where pitchers try to throw the ball. They like to keep the ball down.
So high and outside by Ryan Webb, who's starting his second full inning of work. That one's outside. It's 3-1.
You can see just how careful pitchers pitch. Carlos Gonzalez, they know if they throw something in the middle of the plate, it's going to get hit and hit hard. But that just makes the guy on deck, Troy Tulowitzki, just lick his chops.
Oh, good. That one smoked the center.
That's what I mean. When you throw something in the middle of the plate, this guy, I mean, that bat just makes a sound that most bats don't make.
Well, another base hit for the NL's leading hitter, and you can see it is a three-pronged attack as the NL looks for a Triple Crown winner, something it hasn't had since 1937.
Albert's going to have to go as far as the batting average is concerned.
Well, Carlos Gonzalez, thanks to that hit, is now up to 333.
Man, that's a sound.
Ooh, that's nice.
Andre Dawson, the newly elected Hall of Famer. You'd be in spring training or you'd be on the backfield and you'd hear that sound, bang, like that. And we'd all just look at each other and say, Andre's hitting. You don't hear it very often.
Andre Dawson actually threw out the ceremonial first pitch here in San Diego last night. Well, the middle of this lineup has done some serious damage today. Rockies 3-4-5 hitters, 5 for 8 on the afternoon. With all 3 runs scored, Tulowitzki tries to lay down a bunt.
Most cleanup hitters are up there trying to drive it in the gap.
Well, Headley was playing way back at third. Tulowitzki runs pretty well, but he has been bothered by a sore groin. Missed a couple of games earlier this week in San Francisco. That ball tapped foul.
And that good running fastball right in on the chest area of Tulowitzki. All he could do to get it off of him. Watch this pitch run in. He just eats up Tulowitzki.
Tulowitzki a pair of doubles, and now he has his first strikeout of the afternoon. Webb's third in 1 1/3 innings of work.
You rarely see a hitter with the talent of Troy Tulowitzki get dominated by an opposing pitcher, but that's just what happened right there. Webb running fastballs in on his belly button, and then that beautiful slider to finish him off.
But Todd Helton, 2-run single back in the third. Also walked in the fifth. Called strike. Padres, despite losing 8 in a row, do have a 3-game lead over the Giants and 6.5 over Colorado. I know the Giants are twice as close as the Rockies in the standings, but if you're Bud Black, are you more worried about the team you're playing today or that one up in the Bay Area overall over the last month?
I would say the team up in the Bay Area. But then again, it is September, and this is the Colorado Rockies.
And Jim Tracy thinks that if they get 18 wins, 19 wins in September, they're going to be right in it as far as the division.
Yeah, it's going to be a stretch, but as long as you're beating the team in front of you like the Rockies did last night and are doing here this afternoon, it doesn't take long to catch up.
That one inside. Well, the Rockies, of course, they went nuts last year after Jim Tracy came on board, replaced Clint Hurdle as the manager, went 74-42 the rest of the way. Tracy was named manager of the year. And there goes Gonzalez.
Great jump.
Wow.
No chance there for Nick Hundley. He's the total package, isn't he, Chris?
21st steal of the year. Joins Albert Pujols and Shin-Soo Choo of the Cleveland Indians as those who lead their team in homers and stolen bases.
Albert Pujols,
I know,
isn't
shocking.
that interesting?
Isn't it?
If you fall asleep on Albert, he'll take it. You don't have to be a fast base runner to be a good base runner, Chris. And Albert Pujols, he goes first to third as good as anybody in the game. Great instincts. And you got to have some guts.
Helton lifts one to center. And Venable squeezes it. 2 down. Well, 2007, Bud Black's first year here in San Diego, and he knows all too well what happened. Tied with the Diamondbacks for the lead through 134 games. That lead disintegrated, and then they lost the play-in game to the Rockies.
Matt Holliday still hasn't touched home plate.
I was wondering who was going to get to that one.
But he was ruled safe, and the Rockies went on to go to the World Series.
Eventually got swept by the Red Sox. Melvin Mora 0 for 2 with a walk. Base hit will make it a 3-run game. That one goes all the way to the backstop, and Gonzalez moves up 90 feet.
And that was officially a wild one there. That was kind of the definition of a wild pitch. No chance there for Hundley. But now, Hundley's going to have to be a backstop on those sliders now. You don't want to give up a cheap run here if you're the Padres with a couple of wild pitches.
Mora taps one foul at the plate. So, Mark Grace, you said that Matt Holliday didn't exactly touch home. Jamie Carroll.
Let's see.
With the liner. In the 13th, and Holliday a face full of dirt.
Does he touch home plate, folks? Well, according to Tim McClellan, he did.
And a swing and a miss, so Ryan Webb does the job again. It is stretch time in San Diego. Rockies lead at 3-1. and mustache and beard. Keep your edge. By Verizon, the signal is yours. Wield it to transmit anything you want. Verizon. And by Napa. Napa know how. Well, he doesn't know how to climb that wall. You know, he made his living over at the Murph.
Yes,
So he doesn't know his way around this park quite as well. Still trying to figure it out.
He probably doesn't know that Petco porch out there. Where umpires couldn't see the ball. He doesn't know those spots.
Life can be confusing for a chicken. Chase Headley, Chris Denorfia, Nick Hundley trying to get things going as the Rockies have made a defensive change. Clint Barmas in, replacing Eric Young at second. Swing and a miss.
Hamill still throwing very hard. Only 76 pitches, Chris, so there's still plenty in the tank. Here in the 7th inning, I mean, he has been extremely economical with his pitching.
Ball fouled away. Mora gives chase, but can't get there in time. We saw the Rockies bullpen getting loose, doing some stretching a little bit earlier in the game, but all has been quiet for the last few innings.
Yeah. Sit back and enjoy the day there, boys. These starters been in complete command all afternoon.
The 1-2. Is Tulowitzki going to get there? He is not. And the Padres have the leadoff man on for the first time today.
You see runs just been tough to come by for Bud Black.
Well, you can see also the starters have shared in the blame. In fact, John Garland working on 1 week's rest today. Bud Black tried to push all his starters back a couple of days. Clayton Richard will go tomorrow. In hopes that maybe that would save a little gas in the tank for these guys down the stretch. Matt Latos continues to just be a bully out there.
One of the best pitchers that a lot of people don't know about. He may win the Cy Young Award this year. He could easily do it.
Giving up just 2 runs in his last 13 innings pitched. If you take Latos out of the equation, you saw the starter's ERA approaching 7. It would be an even 9 if you took him out. Right. So now leadoff man on, and Chris Denorfia. A couple of ground outs to Tulowitzki.
The Padres like to run. They just haven't had many base runners today. Jason Hamill hadn't been in the stretch much at all. Padre fans finally getting something to get excited about. Tying run at the plate. Good breaking ball to get ahead.
Low and outside. Good stop by Iannetta.
Hamill starting to slow things down a little bit with the base runner. Headley at first.
Hamill trying to improve to 3-0 in his career against San Diego. Ball popped up, foul, and out of play. This is a guy who started Game 3 of the NLDS last year. Got tagged for 4 runs and 3 2/3, but at least got to taste that playoff experience. You know, he's a guy that Jim Tracy says they're still adding layers to. Right. Even though he's 28, still very young in terms of a starting pitcher at this level.
He's got all the talent. He's got the size, certainly the blazing fastball, and a terrific breaking ball. But for some reason, up until this point, it's led to mediocrity as far as his record is concerned. Boy, he's got great stuff.
The 2-2. Ball tapped to Mora. He gloves it. Has only one play at first. Pretty good play by Melvin Mora. Well, folks, the NFL season is just a week away. Get your fantasy football team now at foxsports.com/fantasy. Fox Fantasy Football features new draft rooms, mock drafts, draft kits. It's still 100% free, so play today at foxsports.com/fantasy. Everybody having those last few days before that fantasy football draft.
I'm not playing this year.
You're going to sit one out.
I'm sitting it out because usually my team has a lock on last place.
Well, who used to win it when you played with the Diamondbacks? You guys used to have a league, I remember.
I believe, if I remember correctly, and I hate to admit it, but I believe it was Kurt Schilling.
Of course it was.
Greg Colburn, remember him?
Sure did.
He always had a good team. Well, speaking of good, how about that fastball? Still plenty in that right arm of Jason Hamill.
First time the Padres have a runner in scoring position since the first inning. And they scored their lone run. And this one is going to get the Padres a run closer. RBI double off the bat of Nick Hundley as Headley scores, and it's 3-2.
Well, just a gorgeous piece of hitting by Hundley. Takes a fastball away. And he doesn't just flip it the other way. I mean, he drives it hard the other way. One hop off the Petco sign. And just like that, the tying run on second base. And these Padre fans, finally something to get excited about.
That'll bring up Everett Cabrera, who singled in his last plate appearance. That one's outside. Finally, it looks like the Rockies are going to get on the phone. Somebody's going to answer down there.
Apodaca calling Jim Wright. Looks like Joe Bynum, number 97, the left-hander, going to start cranking it up.
Ball smacked foul. Oscar Salazar has taken his place in the on-deck circle. Love the yellow gloves he's got rocking.
You look good in those.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of them.
The 1-1. Once again, foul. And out of play.
He's going right at Cabrera with fastballs. And he's been tardy on the last two. Chicken putting the hex on Jason Hamill. No wonder the Padres have scored.
There's probably a generation of ball players that's thinking, what is that guy doing? I mean, for you guys, it was commonplace. You just don't see them. They don't make mascots the way they used to.
No, you're exactly right. And the fans just love the chicken. You don't see anybody telling them, hey, down in front.
No. Padres have already scored one here in the seventh. Nick Hundley on second as the pace has really slowed. He checked it, and he did not in time. Iannetta has to throw down the first, and a critical out there.
Yeah, big-time breaking ball from Jason Hamill after throwing a couple of fastballs by Cabrera. He had him sped up and then threw him the breaking ball, and he couldn't check it up. They're meeting on the mound. Bob Apodaca going to come out and have a conversation. Probably a quick scouting report on Salazar.
Salazar was activated off the DL this week. He had been bothered by a sore Achilles. Just 8 for 38 this year as a pinch hitter. "32-year-old, born in Venezuela. Originally signed back in 1994 by the Oakland A's. Spent time in the A's, Tigers, Mets, Angels, Royals, Indians, and Orioles organizations before being traded over here to San Diego last July for Clay Meredith.
He has been well traveled.
Played in the Mexican League as well in 2005. Now hoping a base hit will tie this game as the Padres look to snap an 8-game slide.
Just missed. Padres just desperately looking for that big hit. They just haven't been able to find it.
Big rip by Salazar, comes up empty.
He was trying to give his team the lead. A big swing and miss.
Regardless of what happens, you got to think this is the last batter of the afternoon for Hamill. The left-hander Will Venable due next. Joe Beimel looks like he is good and ready in the Rockies' pen. The 2-1 delivery. Inside, it's 3-1.
I think you're right, Chris. I would imagine this is going to be the last hitter. 93 pitches now for Hamill.
There's ball 4.
3-1 breaking ball. So the go-ahead run has just been walked to first base.
First walk of the afternoon for Hamill.
Is Jim Tracy going to stay seated, or is he going to come get his big right-hander?
Now here he comes.
Well, his right-hander did himself proud today. Great effort from Jason Hamill.
Joe Beimel coming on in relief. organization, there will be no shortage of work. Joe Beimel is on for the 62nd time this year.
Veteran. Not a guy that's going to light up a radar gun by any means, but a guy that has a bit of a funky delivery. Kind of throws across his body and gets good sink on his fastball.
He takes over for Jason Hamill, who could be the winner or the loser, depending on what happens here in the 7th.
It will be Torrealba. He's going to pinch hit for Will Venable.
Torrealba, the former Rocky, hitting .288 this year, 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter, and hitting only .229 against left-handed pitching.
One catcher trying to drive in the other. Hundley out at second base.
That one way outside.
Sometimes you just go against the numbers, don't you?
Sure do. That one down low.
David Eckstein on deck. And right now, because of a 2-0 count, I would imagine Torrealba is going to get one pitch, a fastball, and he can look to come unglued if he gets it in the zone he's looking for. He threw the fastball and he missed badly again. He's missed badly with all 3 pitches here, Chris. And we're getting loud at Petco.
A 4-pitch walk to Jorvik Torrealba has loaded the bases.
Nowhere near the strike zone on that one as well. And the last guy you want to see up in this situation is about to step into the box after a meeting. David Eckstein. And, well, Jim Tracy's going to his bullpen again.
It'll be the right-hander Ismail Rogers to face David Eckstein here in the 7th. relief for the first time in nearly 2 months. He had been placed in the rotation while the Rockies battled injury problems. In fact, he made a start earlier this week up in San Francisco, and now he comes in to a bases-loaded jam with 2 outs in the 7th to face the pesky man, David Eckstein.
This is the last guy you want to see if you're Jim Tracy. David Eckstein, one of the grittiest players in all the game. He will put an at-bat on you. Oh, my
That
goodness.
one hit the bat. I think it was a foul ball.
I think that is a foul ball. The first pitch right at his coconut. Now, Bud Black's going to come out and get an explanation, but he's thinking it got the helmet, but it got the bat. It definitely got the bat, so that is strike 1.
Kind of an unorthodox way to get ahead of the hitter. That's all wood.
You ain't going to scare this guy, though.
You don't think of David Eckstein having a whole lot of pop, but in 2002, he hit 3 grand slams, including grand slams on consecutive days.
I mean, that pitch right in his ear hole. Thankfully, he got out of the way. Oh, man, what a great breaking ball that was. Boy, how does that ever change the at-bat?
Look at Buddy Black talking.
Next time, say, no. Sorry, Skipper, it didn't.
The 0-2 from Rogers. Just fouled away by Eckstein.
Yeah, that was an awfully nice breaking ball he's throwing. But boy, what a difference. That would-be wild pitch by hitting the bat. Now you get strike 1 instead of ball 1. Now you can use your breaking ball.
Padres have scored 1. They have loaded the bases now with 2 down, trailing by 1. And it will stay that way as Rogers comes in and slams the door shut.
He's saying he fouled the ball off Eckstein, but he's not getting that call either.
So the Padres scratch 1 across, but still trail it by 1 through 7. left shoe, but he is now in left field. Chris DeNorfia has moved to center. And there is a new pitcher on the mound. It is Luke Gregerson on for the 65th time as the Padres continue to just throw arms at you.
Exactly, and this guy's got one of the best sliders in all of baseball, Luke Gregerson. He's been a workhorse. He's been the 7th and or 8th inning guy for Bud Black and the San Diego Padres. He's been the guy, the bridge to Heath Bell. But now he pitches, unfortunately for the Padres, once again with his team trailing.
Ryan Spilborg's in. He'll be followed by Chris Iannetta. Gregerson is behind. The 2-0 by Gregerson. It's 3-0. In case you're curious, David Eckstein, we saw him talking it up with the home plate umpire DJ Rayburn at the end of the last inning, saying, hey, I got a piece of it, I got a piece of it.
I think that was wishful thinking.
Yeah. Iannetta stepped on home to complete the strikeout. And a 4-pitch walk to get the 8th going. And that'll bring up Chris Iannetta. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Gregerson, a part of this outstanding bullpen that they call themselves the Penitentiary.
Oh, I like that.
Originally a 28th round pick of the Cardinals in 06. Came over in a trade to complete a deal for Khalil Green.
Pretty good trade, wouldn't you say, for the Padres?
I would say so. Made 72 appearances a year ago. He could get close to 80 this year.
Good change up there from Gregerson.
Padres trying to avoid their first 9-game losing streak since May of 2003. This is the second of a 10-game homestand for Bud Black's crew. They'll welcome in the Dodgers during the Labor Day holiday, and then 4 with San Francisco, and we'll be right back here next week for Fox Saturday Baseball. Depending on how things shake out, the Padres and the Giants over the next 7 days or so, that could be a battle for first place.
It's going to go down to the wire. And good. There's nothing better than that last series of the season with everything on the line.
That one catches the corner. Only 4 more games for the Padres against teams with losing records, and that's when they play that 4-game set against the Cubs. So the Padres will be tested. If they are indeed champions of the NL West, they will have earned it in September.
Probably going to see that Gregerson slider here. Oh, look at the fastball, just threw it right by on that. Good pitch.
Another strikeout for Padres pitching. Their 12th of the afternoon. And we've got a pinch hitter. It is Johnny Herrera. Herrera, a guy that got a chance to play when Tulowitzki was on the DL.
In his game, pure speed.
Signed as an undrafted free agent back in 2002. Got a shot at the major leagues in 08. Didn't play a single game with the big club in 09. Pitch out, nothing happening.
The slider.
Herrera had a 13-game hitting streak in the middle of the summer. Hit nearly 400 during that span. Squares the bunt, but then takes the ball. Rafael Betancourt. If you think the pace of this game has slowed down, wait until he gets into the game.
He is the pitching version of Mike Hargrove.
But he is awfully dependable.
Luke Gregerson, he's not Speedy Gonzalez out there himself right now. He is really backing off and slowing things down.
There goes Spielberg. Swing and a miss by Herrera. The throw to second base is not in time.
They play hit and run. And Spielberg's, he got in there. He didn't get a good jump. A poor throw on the other side of the bag, and that's a good call out there again by Bill Hahn.
Well, Bill Hahn's having a great day.
The throw is to the shortstop side. Look at the hand. Just get in ahead of the tag. Boy, he has had some very close plays out there, Bill Hahn. Good slide. Look at the good slide there by Spielberg to the outside part. No argument there for next time. Great call.
Hahn also had to deal with that. Was it a homer? Was it not homer? Hit by Adrian Gonzalez. Bill Hahn's hit for the umpire's cycle.
He sure has. He's earned his money today.
Fouled away by Herrera.
Finally, we're going to get a pitch.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss.
After a leadoff walk, back-to-back strikeouts. Look at the bottom fall out of that pitch. Herrera right over the top of it. And Clint Barmas, who came in as a defensive replacement for Eric Young, he's going to get an opportunity to give his team a little insurance run.
13 strikeouts by Padres pitching. Garland with 7, Webb with 4. Now Gregerson with a pair.
Clint Barmas also struggling. 2 for his last 33.
But he does love hitting in this park. 429 clip here at Petco. That one gets past Hundley. Spielberg moves on over to third.
I would imagine that'll go as a pass ball. That's one that Nick Hundley will probably tell you he's going to catch 99 times out of 100. What do you think? Yeah, that'll go as a pass ball.
So Barmas ahead in the count, 2-0. Now he's up 3-0. Barmas was put on the bereavement list, went back home to Indiana. Go visit his father, who's unfortunately dealing with stage 4 lung cancer.
Shadows starting to creep out right in the hitting area. Very difficult to see the baseball.
That one just catches the inside corner for a called strike. How tough is that when both the pitcher and the batter are in the sun, and then everything else is in the shadows?
It's very difficult. You know, pitchers get all the advantages anyway. Now you get the shadows. It's just not fair, Chris.
Yeah, they have all the advantages except for the small ballparks and the strike zone.
Good point. It doesn't matter if you can see him or not. That's the second walk here in the inning for Gregerson.
He is on his own because things are quiet out there in the San Diego bullpen. So Darren Balsley is going to trot on out to the mound. Done a great job with this pitching staff.
He sure has, hasn't he?
16 shutouts this season as a staff. Helped develop an ace in Matt Latos. Now there's Heath Bell.
He's fresh.
Yeah. He is well rested.
And yeah, in the middle of a pennant race. Go ahead and get your closer up. Go ahead and bring him into a non-safe situation if you have to.
Well, he hasn't had any safe situations.
Exactly.
The last one was August 19th at Wrigley. Two walks, 2 strikeouts this inning. So runners at the corners. 2 down for Dexter Fowler. 1 for 4. Ball tapped foul. Talked to you a little bit earlier about Dexter Fowler being recruited by some Ivy League schools. Mom was a phys ed teacher. Like that.
Comes from an athletic family. And probably a lot of guys his age idolize Ken Griffey.
I was going to say, get in line on that one. Well, there's one guy in this park who wears number 17 because of somebody in this booth.
Yeah, and that guy has a lot more talent and did a lot more things than I did on the field, and that's Todd Helton.
I don't know. Back up the middle. Eckstein backhands it, but cannot make the play. And the Rockies increase their lead. It's now 4-2. Great effort by Eckstein. He just couldn't grab it cleanly. It's a base hit.
Well, a huge insurance run here for the Rockies. Hit hard up the middle. The dive by Eckstein, but he just can't come up with it. And the Rockies get that run right back that they gave up in the bottom of the 7th. So,
and maybe more importantly, it keeps the inning alive for baseball's hottest hitter, Carlos Gonzalez.
Exactly right. Gregerson, a couple of walks this inning, come back to haunt him. Seems like those late walks just tend to score, don't they?
Led off the inning by giving a free pass to Spilborghs. Then stole second. Moved to third on a pass ball. Scores on the infield signal. Or signal, depending on where you're from.
I had you.
Gonzalez 2 for 3 today. Reigning National League Player of the Week. Really, we could probably see this coming. Last year in the NLDS, 10 hits in 4 games.
He was fabulous.
It looked like he didn't even have an off season because he just picked it right up.
Had a great spring and just hadn't stopped hitting.
Now in a hole 0-2. That one's outside. Jim Tracy actually calls him a 6-tool player.
What's the 6th?
Character.
Oh.
I think is actually pretty cool.
He plays hurt. He's going to be the leader of this team. Right off the end of the bat it goes. Him and Troy Tulowitzki, this is, those are two huge talents that you can build this team around.
That's a pretty good 3-4 for years to come. It is outside. Gonzalez had a 10-game extra base hitting streak, snapped last night. But he currently has a 12-game overall hitting streak. The National League's leading hitter has a chance at perhaps a triple crown. Thought maybe a week ago he wouldn't have enough home runs to compete, and then bang.
All of a sudden he started slamming balls into the seats.
Adam Russell has joined Heath Bell, thrown in the Padres bullpen. It's Reynolds and Betancourt for the Rockies. The 2-2.
Right in on his hands with the cut fastball. Good pitch. Boy, Luke Gregerson really taking his time out there.
It has been a struggle. A walk, strikeout, walk, infield single. And it's now 4-2 Rockies here in the 8th. And Gonzalez has come back from 0-2 to work the count full.
Another long walk from Luke Gregerson. He's putting folks to sleep. That's hard on a player that's playing behind this. You start getting on your heels instead of being on your toes. You're walking people. You're taking a long time between pitches.
The 3-2 ripped into the Padres dugout. Well, a win today, and the Rockies just 5.5 back of the Padres here in the NL West. Just a month to go here in the regular season. Rockies and Padres will see each other in another 10 days or so out at Coors Field.
All right, here we go, Luke.
Or maybe not.
Goodness gracious.
That ball is laced into the corner and off the top of the wall. 2 Rockies will score. Gonzalez is going to hold up at second with his 3rd hit of the day and his 2nd double. And it is now 6-2.
Boy, Gonzalez, what a great at-bat. He gets a slider that does nothing and just smokes it off the top of the wall, right down the line. Almost got out of here. You can see right at that Petco porch, right off the railing there. And boy, he has come as advertised, Chris Rose.
And Bud Black wearing out that path between the dugout and the mound will tell you about the Padres' 5th pitcher of the afternoon. 27-year-old right-hander Adam Russell is the 5th Padres pitcher of the afternoon, and he delivers a called strike to Troy Tulowitzki. On for just the 7th time this year. He was recalled from AAA Portland for his 4th stint with the big league team. Got called up yesterday. Going laser into the crowd.
Mercy.
Thankfully, nobody was injured on that one.
Big, hard throwing Russell. Ball just gets on you, and Tulowitzki rifled it, as you said, right over the dugout. Everybody's fine.
Well, Carlos Gonzalez, another monster day. A 2-run double here in the 8th. He's now just 3 RBIs behind the NL League leader, Joey Votto.
3 doubles here this afternoon. Another pitch gets to the backstop. And the Padre faithful not real happy about what they're seeing here in the top of the 8th inning.
It has been a mess.
Not real happy with what they've seen the last week. But before you start piling on the Padres, just remember, they're in first place.
And they will be throughout the weekend, no matter what happens.
Yes. That didn't take long.
Russell comes in and does the job against Tulowitzki. But the Padres are down 4. By Gillette Odor Shield Antiperspirant. Help eliminate odor, don't just cover it up. By Michelin, a better way forward. And by State Farm. With 17,000 agents, we've got the best lineup in the game. Welcome back to San Diego, where the Rockies now lead 6-2 here as we go into the bottom of the 8th. And Rockies have a new pitcher, Matt Reynolds. And on the first pitch, he gets Ryan Ludwig to pop it up. There's one down as Johnny Herrera squeezes it. And you look back, it's really been the tale of 2 bullpens, I suppose, in this game. The Padres pretty much imploded over the last few innings. And actually in the 7th, it was Esmil Rogers who came in, bases loaded jam, and got David Eckstein to strike out.
Struck out David Eckstein, and that was a huge momentum shift right there, and the Rockies took full advantage of it. They scored 3 runs in the top of the 8th, get a quick out here in the bottom of the 8th. That's winning baseball. Bottom line, that's just winning baseball. The Padres have made a couple of mistakes in the field, and the Rockies, to their credit, have taken full advantage of it.
Speaking of the field, you saw Johnny Herrera squeeze the first out. He takes over for Melvin Mora at third. Reynolds, a hard-throwing left-hander, on for the 8th time this year. Had been doing a great job until Thursday when he gave up the first runs of his career, a grand slam to Chase Utley. Welcome to the big leagues. Hello. That was that weird scheduling quirk where the Phillies and Rockies had been snowed out.
Right.
Back in, I believe it was May. And so Colorado had to fly home from San Francisco on Thursday morning, play the Phillies at 5 in the afternoon local time, then get on a plane and fly here and play San Diego on Friday night.
And he ended up playing a 12-11 marathon against the Phillies, ended up losing it.
So they were actually in 3 cities in less than 24 hours. Adrian Gonzalez rips one foul.
They're playing good baseball here in San Diego. Winner here last night.
They've actually owned the Padres all season, even when the Padres were playing great baseball back in the early part of the summer. The Rockies 9-4 against San Diego. Reynolds can't quite find it. Tulowitzki does. And there's 2 down.
Well, not only do the hitters have trouble seeing, but the pitchers have trouble seeing the ball off the bat as well.
Well, next week on Fox Saturday Baseball, the pennant race continues to heat up as the Giants look to close the gap between themselves and these NL West leading Padres or the NL Wild Card leading Phillies battle the Mets. Coverage Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Gillette begins next week, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on Fox. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Called strike to Chase Headley.
And Matt Reynolds done a very good job of coming in with all the momentum, just throwing strikes.
That one inside. Take one more look. Reynolds probably still double clutch.
That would have been a blocker save. Sometimes I got to go hockey on you, Chris.
That away. They slide it in. Big Coyotes fan, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. They had a good year last year, the Phoenix Coyotes.
Matt Reynolds, originally a 20th round pick in 2007. He got the call up earlier this year when Brad Hopp was released. Headley rolls one to Tulowitzki. A quick inning of work by the lefty Matt Reynolds. We are off to the 9th. It is 6-2 Colorado. his job.
Went right through the heart of the Padres order in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3. That'll make your pitching coach happy. Bob Apodaca.
Todd Helton gave the Rockies the lead for good. 2-run single back in the 3rd. Adam Russell continues to work. Came on and struck out Tulowitzki to end the 8th. First Saturday in September, what do you think about? A little bit of college football. Todd Helton, right in that pressure cooker in the SEC. Took over for an injured Darren Colquitt as the quarterback. He was hurt later that season at Mississippi State. Who replaces Todd Helton? Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Not sure what happened to him, but Todd Helton's done well.
How about getting outside and showing a little speed there
I
with
know.
Helton? Man, he's supposed to be a
I thought you
slow first baseman. Exactly. Come on, he's making
keep that quiet.
He's making us look bad.
Jason Giambi in the on-deck circle. Now there's your prototypical first baseman. That's not going Giambi.
There you go. That's more like it. You're
He'll
right.
play between the tackles.
That's exactly right. He'll be the pulling guard.
Right. Helton putting together a pretty good at bat. Signed a 2-year extension at the beginning of this season. Next double. Pull into a tie with Ted Williams for 35th place in the all-time doubles list. That one hit to right. Ludwig is back. Right in front of the track. Makes the catch. And so that'll bring up Jason Giambi. And last night all he did was mush it off of Corey Lupke. Guy making his first major league start. His homer last night broke a 75 at bat homerless drought. It was his first one since June 23rd.
Still a very dangerous slugger. Not the hitter he used to be. Father Time eventually catches up to you, but still a guy that has gotten some big hits for Jim Tracy the last couple of years coming off the bench.
And he looks at ball one. Giambi, a 5-time All-Star, the AL MVP back in 2000 when he hit 43 homers, drove in 137 runs.
Still has a very good eye at the plate, rarely chases out of the strike zone. And because of that, he's got a 2-0 count. He should get a fastball here, something he can drive.
People forget about that, about Jason Giambi. They just think he's a slugger. And there's 2 down. Win this afternoon, and the Rockies climb to within 5.5 games of the Padres atop the NL West.
San Francisco plays later.
It'll be Kane against Ted Lilly up in Los Angeles. You're looking at the wild card as well. Philly leads that by 3 games over the Giants. Rockies climb to within 6 with a win.
The Phillies are 1 behind the Atlanta Braves in the National League East. We're going to have some good stretch runs. It's going to be great. It's what makes baseball the greatest game on the planet.
You can feel that ebb and flow down there, can't you, on a daily basis?
Oh, man.
I mean, people don't think of this as a momentum sport because there's a different kind of pace to it than there is in, say, football or basketball.
Right. There's no clock. You're right. But yeah, when you can definitely feel it. You can feel it right now. For the Padres, they've got to find a way to get out of reverse. Right now, they're stuck in reverse. And they've just had way too good a season. And I believe
it looks like Russell
hurt himself.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Maybe an ankle, twisting an ankle or a knee.
Really extended something on the follow-through for the Padres training staff.
It's tough to tell which leg he hurt. He's shaking them both.
He's another mountain of a man.
All these guys are just so big now. We heard Jerry Coleman talking about it earlier. These guys are, I mean, I wasn't a small guy in my playing days. I would be a very small baseball player now, and I weigh 205 pounds. He's going to take a couple of practice tosses here to see if those big wheels are all right to stay out there.
He's trying to do something with his landing area.
Exactly. Must have twisted an ankle or. I'm going to try it again. He's not convinced yet.
I got to tell you, Nick Hundley's having a hard time catching that baseball today, isn't he?
He really has had a rough go of it. I guess he's okay. And he got those great big feet.
Maybe the trainer should check on Hundley's hands on the way back to it. Do a little drive-by.
Yeah, he's had to go back to the screen a few too many times today. So we'll finish it on out here, a 1-2 count. Still throwing very hard, 96 miles an hour by the big fella.
Swing and a miss. So Russell retires the 4 men that he faces this afternoon. Last chance for the Padres, down 4. To 2 in the 9th, and Colorado has its 5th pitcher on the mound. It is Manny Del Carmen, 28-year-old right-hander, came over from Boston on Tuesday, a trade for a minor leaguer. Hoping that his second appearance with the Rockies goes a little bit smoother than the first time around. Back on Thursday, he made his debut, worked to the 3rd of an inning, got tagged for 4 runs on 4 hits.
That's not the way you want to break out with your new teammates, but this guy's very talented, very hard thrower, and no fear. And he's stood and gone toe-to-toe with A-Rod and Jeter in the middle of Yankee Stadium. And that you can't teach.
Right now he'll go toe-to-toe with Chris Denorfia. Denorfia 0 for 3. Today's game, by the way, produced by Larry Lancaster, directed by Jim Lynch. Associate Director Wayne Wilson. Associate Producer Andy Kavanaugh. Technical Producer is Dan Ratante. Pre-game show produced by Don Bowie. Highlights Coordinator Janice Casazza. Studio Technical Supervisor Jack Simmons. Supervisor of Remote Field Ops Jerry Steinberg. Senior Producer Bill Brown. Vice President of Operations Jim Bernard. Director of Remote Productions is Jacob Ullman. Executive Producers Eric Shanks, Ed Gorin, and David Hill.
A big rip of a fastball there from DeNorfia. Fouled it straight back.
Also want to thank our staff man in the booth, Mike Matero. Del Carmen, a guy that the Rockies feel like going to help him not only in 2010, but down the road. He had fallen out of favor a little bit with Terry Francona and John Farrell and that crew up there. Other guys had passed him. Roller to Barmas. And there's one down in the ninth. So now the Padres 2 outs away from perhaps looking at their first 9-game losing streak in more than 7 years. Well, coming up tonight on Fox, 8 Eastern, it's another episode of Cops coming your way. That'll be followed by America's Most Wanted. It's on your local Fox affiliate. Nick Hundley, 1 for 3 with a double. And looks at a called strike. What do you think, Mark? Do you think the Rockies are going to get close?
I think they will. I think they will because I think they're finally starting to get healthy. And when your pitching staff starts to get healthy, you can go on runs, and that's what's happening with the Rockies. They've got one of the best players in the game right now, and Carlos Gonzalez, and you got Troy Tulowitzki also having a great year. So scoring runs never really a problem for the Colorado Rockies. But now they're starting to get you out. And that's danger.
It'll be Jorge De La Rosa and Clayton Richard in the finale of the series tomorrow. It'll look like it'll be up to Richard, the 12-game winner, to try and snap a 9-game losing streak.
Well, it is just piled on the Padres, unfortunately, for Bud Black, and they were just playing so well, and then boom.
That one outside.
And that's the part of this game that is very cruel. But that's the other thing also, Chris, is you can't get your dauber down. You can't feel sorry for yourself because these other teams don't feel sorry for you. You've been beating on them all year long.
Swing and a miss by Hundley. It's 3-2. The Brewers have jumped out on top of the Phillies out there in Philadelphia. Remember the Phillies, the wild card leaders, coming into this afternoon. The Rockies hang on here. Phillies lose at home. Colorado will be within 5.5 of the wild card as well. Chopped foul. That scoreboard watching things fun, isn't it?
I loved it. Yeah, and people will sit there and say, no, I don't watch the scoreboard. They're lying. Yes, you do. You can't help it. You have to see what your competition is doing. I scoreboard watched in April.
Padres offense continues to struggle. Scored just 21 runs in their last 9 games now. Hundley hits this one pretty good, but it is not going to leave the yard. So 2 down now, and it's the last chance for San Diego. Their shortstop, Everett Cabrera. Cabrera 1 for 3, a single, a pair of strikeouts. And a big error out in the field. This was his error that gave the Rockies a 3-1 lead. Along the 5th inning. Looks at a called strike.
Heck of a job by Rocky pitching today. Jason Hamill got it all started. He had a rock-solid start. And then Rocky bullpen has been flawless since.
The 1-1 by Del Carmen. It's low. Rockies closer, Houston Street. He picked up the save last night.
Well, just in case a couple of Padres find their way on base. Street will throw a pitch and then stand and watch for a little while.
Chopped foul. Padres down to their last strike. Well, somebody here is happy. Wearing a San Diego hat. Barmes, and that will do it. Make it 9 straight losses for the NL West leaders. Carlos Gonzalez, another monster day as the league's leading hitter picks up 3 more hits. 6-2 your final. We'll be back to wrap up this baby right after this.